Welcome to Soul Essence Yoga. My name is Kaylee and today I'll be doing a short tutorial on our yoga headstand and our yoga tripod stand, or in Sanskrit known as Salamba Sashasana 1 and 2. So before we get started into the practice, we just want to discuss a little bit about alignment of the body and where we are placing the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the neck and the head. So before you get started and by placing it on the ground, you want to know where exactly you are putting the head. So if you have to measure with the back of your hand, placing this at your brow line, and where your middle finger reaches, this is the part of the head that will effectively be on the ground. The next thing that we're going to be looking at is where to align the position of the arms. So we will take the hands around the elbows and just place the elbows directly below the shoulder line. This forms a foundational triangle base for both of the postures. So with the headstand posture, you'll be having the entire forearms on the ground. And as you move your hands up to the top of the triangle, if you had to have a look, you form a triangle position here. Now with the tripod stand, the only difference is that your hands are going to be where your elbows are. So instead of having them at the top supporting the back of the head, you will place your hands directly below the shoulder line here. So the first position for making our way towards headstand, we'll interlace the fingers. But they need to be nice and loose so that they are not tightening the hands here. Pressing down firmly through the elbows. And then starting at the hairline and rolling into the part of the head where you reach with the finger. And press through the elbows. Place the forehead down at the hairline and begin to roll until you can feel that spot in the floor. Here you want to create length through the arms, so pressing firmly through the elbows, lengthening the upper arms and pressing into the ground here. This first position will help with neck strengthening. So before we go into the full inversion, tucking the toes, rising up through the hips and stepping forward. Feet as close to the elbows as possible, pressing firmly through the elbows to take pressure off of the head. This is your first foundational position to strengthen the neck. If you were doing this in tripod stand, the only difference would be that your hands would be where the elbows are, elbows tucked in towards the waistline, and as you press up through the hips, walking the feet forward, and again pushing the ground away through the hands to take pressure off from the head. So when you've incorporated those exercises into your practice and your neck feels strong enough, then you can start making your way into your headstand 1 or 2. I'm going to be showing you in this position first, and then I'll move my mat close to the wall so that I can show you how to practice with your feet up against the wall. So again, starting from the first position, we know where we are placing the head. We find the position of the elbows. We reach the hands to the top of the triangle, gently interlacing the fingers and starting to press down firmly through the elbows. Here you'll start at the hairline, roll into that part of the head and begin to press the ground away through the elbows, lengthening the upper arms. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and begin to walk your feet close to the elbows. The first variation of moving into this is by taking one leg up at a time. We really want to avoid kicking the leg up and throwing ourselves over. So taking your strong leg and gently extending up towards the ceiling. As you press the foot over the head area, try to float the other leg up, stacking your hips over your shoulders and allowing the feet to meet at the top. From here, engage through the core, press the ground away through the elbows and focus on a one-pointed position while maintaining even breath flow. When you're ready to release, lower one leg down slowly, then the other, bend the knees and make your way into a child's pose Or if you are feeling dizzy, place the fists one on top of the other and support the forehead here. Now the other variation of moving into this posture, I'll take it back to the top. If you are moving through with 2 legs, here you'll bend one and press the knee in towards the chest. You'll feel the tailbone shifting back so that the hips align over the shoulders and bring the legs up here. Here you can flex the feet, send the heels up, keeping the feet flexed, and continue to push the ground away through the elbows. To come down, again bring the knees into the chest. And then take the toes down, nice and slow. So for our tripod posture, we want to find balance on top of the arms before we move up. So again, placing the hands where the elbows would have been, starting at the crown, at the forehead, rolling into the crown of the head and drawing the elbows close to the body here, creating a 90-degree angle in this posture. Tucking the toes, lift the hips up, walk closer to the hands and really press the hands into the ground to take pressure off the top of the head. Bring the legs up one at a time on top of the arms, pointing the toes together and find a stable foundation here. When you feel ready, bring the knees together in towards the chest and begin to lift the feet up, flexing them, pressing the heels towards the ceiling, engaging core and staying with the breath. When you're ready to release, bring the knees right down into the chest, place them on top of the arms and lower down one at a time, moving back slowly as you settle into a child's pose. As a beginner, I always suggest that you practice your inversions up against a wall. So I'm just going to show you the distance and the difference between the 2 postures so that you are supported correctly once you are inverted. So for headstand 1, where we are using the full length of the forearms, we need a little bit of a space away from the wall so that once we are up, it's only our heels that are touching. So you'll measure about a hand distance away from the wall and know that that is where the top of the head will be on the floor once you move up. So placing the elbows below the shoulders, I find the top of my triangle. I make sure that the triangle is even on both sides of my body. Gently interlacing the fingers, again starting from the forehead hairline area, rolling into that flat part of the head and really pushing the ground away through the elbows to create length in the upper arms. Once I tuck the toes, lift the hips, breathe in, begin to walk your feet close to the elbows. When you cannot walk anymore, we'll go up with one leg at a time. Bend your knee and take your foot up as far as possible. As you keep pressing it back, the heel will hit the wall. Bring the other leg up to meet it. Keep the heels close together and begin to engage the core. Please don't let the bottom sag up to the wall, creating a hollow back. Lift the body away from the wall. Engage core and press the ground away, keeping the feet flexed here. To move out of this, lower down the leg one at a time, and again, take it into child's pose. For tripod headstand, you will need the full support of the wall, so the head position is a little bit closer to the wall. Because we want from the back of our head right down our neck and our spine, legs and heels all touching the wall in tripod stand, we will shift so that the back of our head will be touching the wall gently. So from here, I start at the hairline, I roll to the crown and I allow the back of my head to touch. Before moving up, you need to always make sure that your neck is straight. Because if your neck is pulling in this direction or in this direction, the force is going to be too much and cause injury once you're up in your inversion. So always making sure that the neck is straight as if you were standing upright.
Once the back of my head is touching gently, I squeeze the elbows in towards the waistline, tuck the toes, and I begin to walk my feet forward until I can feel my back touching the wall. That means I'm fully supported. I can now bring the legs up onto the back of the arms and to lift the legs. Bring the knees into the chest, squeeze through the core, and you can place your feet on the wall and walk them up one at a time here. Now I'm fully supported from the back of my head all the way through the spine and the heels with the feet flexed. To come down, bend, lower down to the floor one at a time. And again, taking your child's pose at the end. I hope that you enjoyed the headstand tutorial, and I ask that you please practice safely, because this is an advanced practice that can cause injury if you are not practicing with mindfulness.